Hi, it's Thomas Gronnemark, the throwing coach. In this video, I'm going to show you how the 7 throw-in superpowers can win you a football match. My name is Thomas Gronnemark and I'm a professional football throwing coach. I've been part of 15 titles in international football and been coaching clubs like Liverpool FC, Ajax, Dortmund and many other clubs all around the world. I also have an online course called Gronnemark's Throw-In Mastery, and here I learn coaches to improve their players' throw-ins so they can win more matches. You can find the online course on throwinacademy.com or just push the link down in the description. I put the price so low so most football coaches all around the world can afford to buy it. But in this video I'm going to show you the 7 throw-in superpowers. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 is the long throw-in taker. A long throw-in taker is really important because not only can you use the long throw-in to score a lot of goals if you throw it towards the opponent's goal, but you can actually also use the long throw-in for other things. For example, the longer you can throw, the better counter-attack throw-ins you can make. The third thing is the longer you can throw, the bigger throw-in area you have too, and then you can throw to more teammates. Most of my players I coach in the long throw-in technique, they improve 5 to 15 meters just with a more efficient technique. The last 5 seasons I coached FC Midtjylland in the long throw-in. They scored 46 goals on long throw-in. So all in all, no matter how you use the long throw-in taker, he or she can be a really efficient tool to have on the pitch. Number 2, space protector. So what is a space protector? Yeah, let me show it here. Let's say we have a throw-in in the middle of the pitch, and up there we have a 1 against 1. For example, we used that a lot when I was 5 years in Liverpool with Mo Salah. So can we throw it to this player in the feet? Then it could be really valuable because then this player can protect the space, and then we can have, for example, a side run and then a side pass, and by this way we can not all the time but sometimes break the opponent's line, or we can just keep possession. There are many different types of space protectors, but the good ones are usually strong or tall, so have a good physique. It doesn't mean that you can't be a good space protector if you're not big, because for example Mo Salah, yeah, he's not a tall player, but he's really good at using his body to protecting the space. You can say that the space protector can not only be used in a 1 against 1, it could also be a 2 against 2 where the front player creates some space. It could also, for example, be what I call the 9er box. If there's a lot of space for the 9er and he or she is really good at protecting the space, then we can have side runs here and we can have the same effect, breaking the opponent's line. Then we have number 3, and this is a behind defense runner, and this is typically a fast player, and you can, of course, you can use that if the opponents are totally in structure and in formation, but you'll often be able to use that when you have a fast throw-in. So let's just say the opponents are not totally organized here. This player gets it fast, and then maybe let's say of course it could still be the 9er coming here, but it could also be number 10, number 8 who runs behind the defense. And of course this is all about timing and everything, and also the longer you throw, the better you can do that too. But do you have some players on your team who are really fast, also in top speed? Then it can be really efficient to use a behind defense runner. The 4th type is the fast and clever thrower. And then you might think, fast and clever thrower, okay, how important is that? Yes, of course you want to throw as long as possible, as far as possible. You want to throw precise, but that a thrower is able to throw fast, react fast, but also to know when to wait and have patience. But also that the thrower is able to see the space who's created by the outfield player. That's really, really important. And of course you have to do that in training. Sometimes you can be lucky that you have a thrower who's able to read spaces and so. But to be able to really develop that skill by a thrower, you really need to train this in training. And when I say the thrower, in my philosophy, in my teams, of course the fullbacks, the wingbacks takes more throw-ins than the other players all around. But I always say it's the nearest player who gets the ball fast. That can potentially be the throw-in taker. So again, the fast and clever thrower is really important for all teams. Then we have number 5, the space creator. And what is a space creator? Yes, a space creator is a player who's really good at creating space for their teammates. So let's say this could be players who are really good at creating space in this midfield 3 here with different kinds of runs here. So some of those players will often have to be good space creators. A good space creator can also be a player who's also not only good at creating space, but also good at scanning and seeing what options are open or closed. And for example, if we have the mini switch, the second central defender, and I covered that deeply in another video. Let's say the 6 is here. A good space creator will see that he is occupying the space here. If there's a lot of space here, so he can move away, then we can have an easy mini switch. That's also a type of space creation. So again, we can be creating space in many different ways. One of the not so typical space creation we used in Liverpool FC was Bobby Firmino with the false 9, and he was really good at coming, and in Liverpool we played 4-3-3, but Bobby Firmino, he was really good at coming down, and he actually knew every square meter of the pitch. So he was just tracking all the opponents almost where he would. So you can say you can actually also create those high quality space creators. And it's really important for me to say that Liverpool were not good space creators before I came. They were actually number 18 out of 20 in the Premier League, third last. But when I came, I moved the team from number 18 to number 1 on throw-ins under pressure. So this is a thing you can teach the players too. Then we have number 6, the first toucher. And the first toucher is that, of course, when you have a throw-in, let's say in the middle of the pitch, the ball can come so many different places. But if you choose, let's say, to go in some kind of midfield shuffle, and I know there could be 2 players involved, 3, even 4 players in a midfield shuffle, then who do you want the ball to go to? Yes, of course, if there's a player who has a lot of space, then every player should be able to receive that throw. But if you should choose, would you then rather have a player who has a fantastic first touch, or one who's more physical, or another player who's like medium at that? Of course you want to have the throw to a good first toucher. So again, look at your team. Do you have a player who's really fantastic at the first touch, and maybe you should try to find him or her when you have a throw in? And then the last 7th role, and this is a defensive one because I'm actually coaching the defensive roles just as much as the attacking roles and attacking throw-ins. So this is the space pressure. And for example, when I coached Liverpool FC, we had Jordan Henderson, who was a really good presser. He played as what we call the free presser in really many occasions. And let's just say he was in blue now. I know Liverpool played in red, but let's say Jordan Henderson was in here, and maybe he didn't have anyone at all. He shouldn't go in the sandwich, he shouldn't mark a midfield, he shouldn't mark the thrower, but he was the free presser. So he was always observing, scanning, how are the opponents moving, the opponent's attacking pattern. And then, as soon as the ball came, he could either go down and press in a sandwich. He could, if we had a return pass here to the thrower, then Jordan Henderson could go down and press the thrower. He could also press some of the midfielders here. So again, it's really underestimated that we have players who are really good at different types of pressing, but also able to scan and press in different spaces depending on how they're developing. So this was the 7 throw-in superpowers. So you as a coach, try to look at your team. Where are your strengths? And of course, some players are good at many things. For example, Mo Salah, he was good at protecting the space. He was really good at creating space himself. He was also fast. So some of your players have different strength or throw-in superpowers. But again, try to use that when you have a match, because this can be a big advantage. But the most important thing is that you do this in training. You train it. Too many coaches are just saying a little bit around the throw-ins before a match. It's not enough. You have to coach it every single week. But this was my video about the 7 throw-in superpowers. Be sure to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Also, are you a professional club? Be sure to invite me. Again, I've been part of 15 titles in international football. I've been part of a lot of teams who are punching above their weight, so playing or having results better than their economy. And I've been a part of a lot of promotions too. So I'm not only coaching in the best leagues, I'm also coaching in second and third leagues. So be sure to contact me. Again, I also have my online course designed for amateur and youth coaches. Gronnemark's Throw-In Mastery. You can find that on throwinacademy.com or push the link down in the description. But that was it from me here. Have a fantastic day. Do you have any throwing questions? Put them down in the comments. Bye bye.